What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, my son.
Oppression.
And this is I Work for the People podcast. Thank y'all for coming back and tuning in. You know, we had a long week, man. This was a long week. Oh, man, I just came back from Indiana. It was like 5 degrees out there, man.
5?
5.
A whole nickel?
A whole nickel, man. Shout out to Indiana University, Purdue, the Black Student Union. They had us out there, and I did a spoken word and worked the house down.
Broke the house down?
They had a gala. They had the gala. I didn't even know it was a gala. But they had the Martin Luther King dinner gala that they do yearly, and they invited me to speak. I was honored, and it was dope, man, to see black excellence, man, black brilliance in one room. Seeing all that in one room, man. So that was dope.
Indiana University?
Yeah.
In Purdue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it was a real dope experience. Then it was freezing. You know what I'm saying? Just got back this morning. I just had to go over to another Martin Luther King event. Shout out to Barclays and the Nets. They had a Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah, I saw some.
Yeah, you know, so they had us over there. Shout out to my boy Harry O, who hit me up. He was like, they want to have some civil rights activists and people who work in that field. And at the event, I took a picture with Silva.
Silva?
What's his name?
Oh yeah, from the NBA.
Yeah, Commissioner. I took a picture with Commissioner Silva. They had us in their little suite.
Oh, yeah?
We had some sweets. They had us in the Diamond Lounge. We had all types of seafood, free food, and all that. So they treated us good, man. So shout out to the Nets.
You earned that, Chan.
Yeah, earned that. You know. So then Angela Yee took me over to a juice bar in Brooklyn, which was like 10 minutes from Barclays. We shot like a little commercial bit with her and DJ Nori. Around 87, he was there, so we shot like a little commercial. And then I rushed on over here, man. Rushed over here for no reason, because O came like 4 hours late, but it's cool. 4
hours? I don't know about 4 hours,
man. Came 4 hours late, man. That's what we do, man. Yeah, I'm just be honest, though. You see what your hat say, authentic, man. We authentic. That's,
I'm gonna take this shit off.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Motherfucker that I paid for this shit for.
Oh, shit.
Did you give me this or I paid for?
You probably got that.
I probably paid for. I got a nice good discount.
Yeah, right.
Man, to get somebody a discount every now and then.
Yeah, that man.
Anyway,
good luck with that shit.
Anyways, today you dropped the
Yes, today I dropped the mixtape. You know, round of applause for me. Round of applause for me. And today is Martin Luther King Day, the national holiday.
And the name of the mixtape is?
And the name of the mixtape is Soul Not For Sale.
Okay. And
the first track we dropped is I Had a Dream. Today, if you listen to it, if you got the video, go to YouTube. The video is dropped. It has excerpts from Martin Luther King's I Had a Dream speech. And
shot by Point Blank.
Shot by Point Blank. Give Point Blank a round of applause. Doing something right. That's right.
Doing something right.
He did something right, goddamn. You know
something right.
Shout out to him and SK. SK definitely had her creative credits in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She gave the vision, half of the vision. You know what I'm saying? He just held the camera. Me and SK really come up with the treatment. He hold the camera.
That's what he do?
And we direct him what to do. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So,
I have seen him hold the camera.
Yeah, man. Before. Man's an excellent camera holder. Excellent. You know what I'm saying? He does what he do.
He brings no vision.
No
vision to the table. No vision. I can hardly believe that.
It should say, look, camera held by Point Blank. My son directed the video. But nobody does that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
just fucking with you. Yeah. Shout out to he definitely does.
No, man,
quality. Man does his thing, man.
He wouldn't be here if he didn't do quality.
He definitely wouldn't be here, man.
Definitely wouldn't be around these parts.
He'd be in the dumpster. We'd have him in the dumpster.
With the juice.
With the juice stripping. The green juice coming out
the
side.
whole green juice.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, mixtape dropped today. It's Martin Luther King Day. You know, we happy to have him. Happy that we have somebody that we can celebrate, that we can look up to. That, you know, that fought for our rights, that really, did something that we can look as black people and say, damn, This is because we see so many negative depictions of us. So Martin Luther King is one of those staples.
I want to talk about that later too. We seen something before we came on there that's a negative.
Oh yeah.
Some negative looks.
Yeah. We seen that. But the mixtape drop. It's about, I think it's 12 tracks on there. Shout out to my boy Derez Deshawn. You know, he's on there. Shout out to Connie's son. He's on there. I think that's pretty much it. You know, the rest of them is just me doing, just really putting in quality. Like this is one of my favorite projects that I put out. I put out a lot of dope music. But I think for me, this is my favorite. Because it wasn't about a sound, it was just really just putting out heartfelt music. When the theme of it is sold not for sale, because I didn't want to make no music to try to go with what's going on, and I just wanted to make music I felt. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I felt at the time is what I put out. You know, and I think the project is just dope, man. I just really think that people gonna listen to it and say, yo, this shit is dope. So you can get it right now. It's exclusively on my website.
Right.
You know, myson/nyg.com is exclusively there. It's going to be exclusively there where you can buy it on the website until Friday, where it's going to be on all platforms. But I just wanted, just for my real fans, because you know, everybody, I got real fans that are like, yo, we want that, man, we want that tape, when we going to get it, we going to get it. So I wanted to house it on my page first, you know, just to give the fans, my real fans, a chance to get it first, and then give it to the world. Because, you know, I thought that was more intimate. You know, I thought it was more intimate. My fans just.
And you always talked about that. I mean, from the beginning, you like when you first came home, I know you always said to me that you wanted to gain a fan. You know what I'm saying? You want to gain authentic fans, so to speak, like one by one. You know what I'm saying? And I think over the years, like you making a transition into becoming. I wouldn't say you've always been conscious, but more of talking more things on the community-based level. You know what I'm saying? Talking about things in the community more.
Yeah, man. Gangsta but woke as fuck. And that's what people like. The funniest shit to me, right, is when people try to say it's a contradiction. And it's like, we all contradictions to a certain degree. You understand what I'm saying? We all was, because you don't never feel the same way every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gangsta but woke as fuck means that I'm very conscious of what's going on. I'm willing to die for my people. I'm willing to fight for my people. I want equality. I want justice. I'm willing to, like, that's my core values. But the gangster part means you can't play with me, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of principles. I'm a man of honor and integrity. So the minute that you cross a certain line, you know what I'm saying, and you violate those things, I'm willing to protect myself. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to protect my family, my friends. I'm willing to live by a certain code of honor. I'm not going to, you know, I'm never going to bite my tongue about nothing. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm willing to deal with the consequences that come with any actions. That's the gangster part. So when people are like, oh, you contradicting, you go by the streets, you know, the street rules that we got, you know, came from, it was based on a level of some type of order or structure around some shit that was never really structured. Right. So if you in the streets, and you try to come, if you're a principled person and all you know is street shit, then you try to come up with some level of order around it. So those principles, you know, they grew and evolved into just life. You know what I'm saying? Those principles, people are, oh, not snitching. It's not about snitching. It's about integrity. It's about being a man, dealing with the consequences, being accountable. I did this. I'm willing to deal with it. He let him deal with his own shit. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm going to deal with mine. And that's just what men do. Anything else, it's just coward shit because you don't want to deal with your consequences. So people always say this and that. And when I understand what it is going down the street. You know, bozo-ass academics said some shit the other day that kind of pissed me off. He was mad at Meek because Meek was comparing dudes in the streets that's, you know, hustling and doing whatever in the streets to soldiers. He said, you know, he was talking about the soldiers at war. He said, you know, I pray for y'all because I understand, like, the soldiers in the street go through the same thing. He's like, oh, Meek is contradicting. He can't compare the soldiers to the people in the street that's doing crime. And it's like, and what he said was, y'all both fighting for the same shit. Y'all both fighting for lives. You know what I'm saying? You going over there and they telling you fighting this and you fighting for oil, you fighting for gold, you fighting for diamonds, you fighting for fucking niggas, somebody else's ego. Right. The same shit that they doing on them corners. You know, you got these niggas on the corner like, yo, this nigga trying to play me, go put this work in, and they shooting the kid because they believe that's what they supposed to fight for. So they being told lies the same way. So his mind state, when you never came off the porch and you never been outside, you never came off the stoop, and you speak about shit that you have no understanding of, to try to downgrade it because you're not built like that or you never been through it, it's just, it's stupid. Like, you gotta stop talking. Listen to me. Bozo academics, you gotta stop talking about street shit. You've never done anything street in your life. You have no credibility. You don't have the right to speak about shit that goes on the streets. You gotta talk about the shit that goes on with you. You gotta deal with your own field. You gotta talk about the shit that you deal with. It ain't gonna work for you. Keep talking about shit that real people is going through in the streets. Stay in your lane. They got the grandma lane, they got the intermediate lane, the speed lane. Stay in the grandma lane. You never been in the fast lane. It's not for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's only something wrong with that because you try to interject your point of view upon shit that don't got nothing to do with you. Leave it alone, beloved. Please, man. So that shit bothered me because I really understood what he said. Is we was out there in the streets fighting and being misled and thinking we was doing something for some type of status that really never really existed. And we understand it now. We understood it now.
Of course, we get it now.
We get it now, but when you in them streets, and then you in them streets, and that's your only way of survival. Right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't giving nobody else nothing, and you fighting over this corner because when they start working on this corner and they selling, you can't provide for your family. So in your mind, you saying, yo, I gotta die for this corner. This is the only way I can feed my family. So the mind state is the same. Just like when they say I gotta fight for my country because this is where I live and I want to represent this properly. So it's the same mind state. It's just that it's just a different arena and it's just different rules and it's just different mentalities. So when we save these kids, I tell people all the time, these young boys on the corners that they calling shooters that's doing 100 years in jail, if they was in the army, they'd be generals. Right. They'd be having Purple Hearts. You know what I'm saying? With that same strategy and the same mentality, we would celebrate them. If we was killing somebody else's, family in a whole nother country, they would say, yo, you did the same thing. When you watch these war movies, they ain't just killing all the soldiers, they killing civilians. They killing whoever there. Yeah. So this is really what's going on. But because it's deemed by society as something that everybody says okay, people want to say, oh, it's different. No, it's not different. It's not different. It's different because you rationalize it in your mind that it makes different. When you hear those people from those countries, those Muslim nations, and they talk about, yo, why are they doing this to us? America has done this and this and that. They don't see it as different. They see you as the same way that somebody in the street that loses their baby. They don't have, it's no different mentality to them. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to talk about that as when we talked about that, man. Because it kind of pissed me off. It bothers you a lot. They bother me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bother me a lot. Because I just was like, a lot of shit he does bothers me because I don't mind that you corny. It's corny people. I got corny friends. This dude that's corny, they never done no shit in the street. They my friends. But they know they corny. They stay in their lane. Right. They don't get involved with this. They ask questions. They don't assume nothing. They try to figure shit out. You don't get to talk about shit that don't got nothing to do with you. You don't get to do that. You gotta leave it alone, man. Leave it alone. You don't know nothing about that world. Leave it alone, man. So that's that for that, man. So,
we want to move right along.
We're gonna move right along, man. I just had to get that off.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah, Bozo shit.
Yeah, the Bozo shit. That's gonna be a segment, the Bozo shit. So, anyways, we got any updates on Mississippi?
Mississippi. So
the
Parchman Prison. So listen, I was there last week,
right?
And we went to the legislature's office, and we asked to meet with the mayor, the deputy mayor. We wasn't able to do so, but they made an appointment and they met with them. They had a rally this week. We're having a major rally on Friday, along with Rock Nation. Probably I think Yo Gotti is going to be a couple of guys there. Jay Prince hit me up. literally just texted me a few minutes ago, like, yo, where's the thing gonna be at? So I'm not saying he's gonna be there. He just asked me for it, but it's a lot of people been hitting us up about it. Rock Nation is putting a lot behind it. You know what I'm saying? They put in a lawsuit. They put in a class action lawsuit with a lot of the prisoners' names attached to it. You know, and they're demanding that something changes in the prison. We're going in to demand that something changes. We actually want that prison shut down. You know, because pretty much it's like the history of it is so fucked up.
Right.
When you go and look at the history of Parchman Prison, and then you look at the conditions of it right now, a lot of those wards that these prisoners are on was deemed inhumane and uninhabitable, and they brought them back there. So we definitely trying to get the jail shut down. We also trying to get some of the sentences. A lot of these brothers in there, some of them have nonviolent crimes, some of them are old. We trying to get.
So is this prison deemed a maximum security?
It's a
maximum security.
Yeah, it's a maximum security.
So do they house individuals with lesser time? Or
they house all kinds of individuals. Yeah, but there's a lot of them doing a lot of time. But there's a lot of them doing a lot of time for crimes that right now under the current administration have been deemed. They've been freeing them. You know, they've been sending a lot of these people home. There's older people in there with drug offenses that did 30 or some years that are eligible for parole. And we're saying based on this situation, based on the fact that they had to go do that, we should be able to commute some of these sentences and let them out on parole. And just in good faith, just based on the fact that you just basically put these people through hell. I don't even know the exact count of how many lives was lost, but I know I just found out.
Do you know the exact number of the population?
I think it was 3,500 people in the prison. 3,500 people in the prison, and I think up to date, I think the last number I heard, 8 people had died in those riots. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even tell you how many was injured. My inbox was full with pictures of them with the guns that they were shooting them with. They had all types of bullet wounds and shit, bleeding. Some of them sleeping on the floor. Some of them, they got people hanging up in the cells. Like, it was so much going on that I never seen a facility, being formerly incarcerated like we are. I've never seen a facility just completely where there was no control. The officers completely lost control. The state was completely negligent. There was complete negligence in it, and I think we're going down there to demand something on Friday. So if you're in Mississippi or you're able to make it to Mississippi, we having a major rally. Follow on my Until Freedom.
Until Freedom.
And you'll get all the updates about where and when that rally's going to be.
So Instagram.
So the line
Instagram. Yeah, so going back to I know we bouncing around a lot, but initially we started talking about Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King.
And you dropping your mixtape on this day. I don't think you really told the people why it was important for you to drop it on this date. I want to get back to that.
I just felt like, when Martin Luther King is one of my idols, man, and what he stood for, his willingness to fight for equality, for our people to be unapologetic about how he felt, even at times, like I tell people all the time, people they didn't celebrate Martin Luther King when he was alive. There was a lot of people that called him coons, they called him all types of names. These same people that right now walk around with Dr. King, this and that, was telling him that he was a sellout, he was a coon, and he stood firm in what he believed. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a different ideology. People was calling him soft, saying all this nonviolent, passive shit, nobody didn't want to do that. And even though the whole nonviolent thing is not my real approach, I'm still able to look and see that it was an approach that was effective. That was effective at that time. And just like Malcolm's approach was effective, both of them together had 2 different entry points, but they had the same goal. And I think during the later years of his life, he realized that, but he still, people didn't even want his funeral to be held certain places. Malcolm couldn't even get nobody to house his funeral. So these are the same people we celebrate today that were willing to put their lives on the line, that was outcasted. So that's why when I go to my Instagram and I hear all that shit, I'm like, okay, I'm in good company. You know, they hung Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
We hear the negative commentary.
Yeah, I be like, yes.
Somebody come on the left. Yo, somebody said, I think I was reading one of your comments today. I think it was either under the video that you posted, and
somebody said Martin Luther King would have spit on me, right? He said that. He said Martin Luther King would have spit on you.
He said he would have spit on you.
I said, wow.
I said, yo,
damn,
these people here, man.
He would have spit on me.
He would have spit on me. I said, man, how do you, where you come from in a place like man, your mindset for you to even make a commentary? Like, you gotta be a sick individual,
yo,
man.
It's a bunch of them.
There's some sick puppies out there,
There's
man.
definitely some sick puppies out there, champion.
There's some sick puppies out there, man.
I just wanted to reflect. I wanted to honor him in that, man. I wanted to honor him, and I felt like his purpose is so aligned with mine. Mm-hmm. You know, and the theme, Song Not For Sale, like I felt like he was true to himself, you know, regardless of the backlash, who didn't agree, he stood the course, man. He predicted his own death. You know, he predicted, he said, I seen it was coming, I seen the mountaintop. So he knew it was coming, but he didn't stop. He didn't say, yo, I already see this death. Let me stop and fall back. I'm scared. Nah, he said, look, I'm going to step in.
He was getting death threats. They had
every day.
Riots happening. He was trying to turn his wife against him, trying to turn the people against him, and he still
did what he did, man. So I appreciate it. So that was the thing. And then, so I don't know if y'all saw this, man, but we're going to show y'all a couple of clips. Martin Luther King flyers. So the Martin Luther King weekend. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this is Martin Luther King weekend. We got this party. They got some twerk thing with girls. Martin Luther King in the middle with girls is twerking.
Do you have a chain on?
They got one where he got 4 or 5 chains. He holding it up. They got one with him dabbing. They got another one where he acting like he's shooting you. You know what I'm saying?
See that
man. Y'all see it. Look, the viewers are watching it right now. They able to see what you don't see. I'm gonna show you this later. But they looking down at that screen right now, and they seeing how crazy it look. Martin Luther King, like, is anything sacred, man?
That's crazy.
Like, come on.
You know what I knew thing, but just not to veer away from the topic, but when you see people in church going live, I just felt like, oh, why are you going live? And like, if you're going to church, you know, whatever. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I deem myself to be spiritual. So it's like when you see things like that, you see people just, you know, they worship this on Facebook. I was like, damn, they just get so far removed from what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
internet for the win, man.
Yeah, when you take Martin Luther King, man, and put him on flyers. And dress him up like he a drug dealer.
A drug dealer. They got
people twerking on him, man. Like, we laughing, but it's not funny. It's sad. You know what I'm saying?
It's really sad, man, because this is where we come to it. And anything they can do to market some or troll or get any type of response, there is no more sacredness. There's nothing that people hold in high enough regard.
They will make a meme out of anything. A man could just die a day before, hours later, and it's a meme.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a meme about it.
The internet is going too far, man. Somebody gonna get hurt though. You know what I'm saying? Martin got uncles, he got nephews, he got sons. Somebody gonna put their hands on one of you niggas, man. Y'all out there with these flyers. Y'all got them dabbing. You got them pointing. Then somebody gonna really point, man. You better.
A lot of games.
Y'all out here playing games, man. Martin, listen. Y'all playing whole games, as old say. Y'all here playing whole games, man. It be serious, man. It be serious out here. Y'all better watch it, man. Watch yourself.
Man, history.
Go on, man.
Go on now for you better
go on,
man.
Before you get yourself hurt.
That's sad though,
it's
man.
Crazy.
When you really think about it, that how does a person say, okay, this is all right for me to do and promote that? You get what I'm saying? And the people around don't say nothing. Like, you have to really question the circle, reevaluate your life.
Yeah, some shit gotta be off limits, man.
That's like taking your grandma. It's like taking your grandmother obituary. You know what I'm saying? And putting it up and putting chains on her. You know what I'm saying? Or rolling up on your grandma's obituary, like smoking her Bible, using her Bible pages to smoke. Like, it's just certain things that I think as an individual that you you're not supposed to do, man.
But they do it though. They out here doing it, man.
How do you get to that place?
I don't
That's
even
the
know.
question, man. Like, how do people get to that place?
Because we so desensitized with shit. Oh, like we don't care about nothing. It's nothing. There's nothing that we holding. There's no more shame. That's what I say about kids. These kids. The reason why certain shit we didn't do, like we wasn't taking drugs, we wasn't doing certain shits, like we wasn't sniffing and all that shit. Like drugs wasn't that prevalent, and suicide and all that shit, because we didn't want to be shamed. You know, we felt like it was embarrassing. I never wanted my mother to look at me and we're like, damn, you did some type of dope fiend, like nigga, like that's it.
Oh, my peers neither.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my peers, I didn't want to look like if dudes is that when people graduated. When I see people graduate, like I seen dudes that I looked up to them. Like I looked up to him, like yo, this dude is official, man. He's a G. You know what I'm saying? I respect him. When they started like, I think we started graduating to Woos, putting people know Woos, putting crack in their blunts and stuff like that. And they graduated. I just lost all respect for them. I was just like, damn, dude. I used to look up to you like you was a football star, whatever you was, and I looked up to you. It's just like, and you started using. People don't even have shame for that no more. It's like, oh, so he said lean, he do dope. You got dudes, young dudes that's going to on methadone. Like it's just like it's no level where it's like, okay, that's shameful. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Or my kids gonna look at me, or my family gonna look at me, or my uncle gonna look at me. Like it's nobody that they hold in high regard to where people feel shameful for their actions of destroying themselves and destroying their community and or destroying anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like people live on that line of self-destruction, and it's sad, man.
It's really sad, man.
It's sad, man. The mentalities that most young people have, it's like, I'm gonna die anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna die like this. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real fucked up reality, man. Real fucked up reality.
It's sad, bro. So you wanna talk about that? Will Smith had a powerful interview.
Yeah.
On
Will Smith been dropping, listen, on his little Bad Boys tour, he just been dropping jewels after jewels. Every time I see it, he dropping jewels, man. Like, I think Will Smith is somebody that has reached a level of self-mastery. You know, I think that's what we all aspire to do, is self-mastery. When you get so comfortable with who you are and know what you want, what you don't want, you know what you like, what you don't like, and you're able to express that, and you're able to be so comfortable in that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, and you can live in that truth completely and articulate it, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the stage he's been for the last few years. Because I listen to him, and every time he says something, I'll be like, damn, that shit was so profound.
It was simple. It was so simple. Like,
and it was so profound. Right. It's like that's what self-mastery is, man. And I definitely aspire. Will Smith is one of those people, man. Hopefully I get to interview Will Smith and like sit down and pick his brain one day. Like I want to pick his brain and just build with him. I think he got so much to offer, and just watching that, not just his career, you know, just the way he carries himself, you know, and the way he's always carried himself is just dope as an individual, as a man. There's not a lot of men that you look and you can see in society today that you can see.
And we watched them evolve, you know what I'm saying, from a Grammy hip-hop artist to, you know, one of the top actors, and
he always pushes himself.
Right? Like Muhammad Ali, when I see Muhammad Ali, I'm like Will Smith. Just like when you see Malcolm X, when you see Denzel, it's like that's Malcolm X.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Jamie Foxx, Ray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He pushed himself to a level.
They embody that, and it's a level of perfectionism. It's a level, like I said, of self-mastery that you get so in tune with who you are, and you get so comfortable with who you are that it's undeniable. It's no way that you can lose in that space. So, you know,
one of the things that I want to touch on that he said, I can't quote him verbatim, but he was talking about, I guess he was like, you can't be the same person that you were once you reach a level you know, of becoming someone, you can't like stay stuck as being that person.
Yeah, he said it's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Pretty much, there's nothing wrong with evolving. What happens is he was explaining how, especially when your life is in the limelight, that you become a character to people.
Right.
You know, like Will Smith, who you are at all, but it's not all the way who you are at some times. And he says, then when you fall from grace from that character, and you stop being that character, you realize you was never that character.
Right.
He says, so it's okay for you to say to yourself, I'm going to be me. Despite whether it fits into what this character is or what people think or want from me. No, I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to do it unapologetically. I'm going to do it authentically. Because when you get to that space, then that's the only thing left to do. So it was so profound to me. And I think I resonated with it because I try to do that now. I try not to live in somebody else's mind.
Right.
You know, I try not to allow somebody else to dictate who I am, what I can do, what I should say. People are like, yo, you this, you can't say that. I'm like, no, I'm me. That is something that comes with me. So I'm going to redefine what that is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you can't say the word nigga. Like, I get it. They hate it. Listen, in this work, in this arena that I am in, there's certain shit that people are like, yo, you can't say that. You're a leader and you're done. I'm like, I'm able to lead because I lead with authenticity.
Right.
And this is how I speak sometimes. And these are things that I think. You know? So I want to come to my fan base and my follower, whoever it is that I have, in my purest form. So that you never can say, well, we didn't know that, or we thought this, or no. I was always 100% honest about who I was. And whether you liked it or not, whether it made you feel some type of way, it's not my business. Your opinion of me is not my business. That's your personal business. You know what I'm saying? I don't allow anyone to limit me or put me in a box. You know, it's not for me. You know, I always want to step out the box. So listening to him say that was like, damn, he broke it down exactly how I felt.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. I was speaking to somebody today about that, and just like coming from Buffalo, coming from a small town, and people, when you go back there, being I evolved, you know what I'm saying, I came from prison or whatever, you know what I'm saying, I just changed a lot. So it's just like when you go back, they almost expect you to be the same person. You get what I'm saying? They call you by your old name, and they expect you to react different, and it's just like, nah, it's not me no more.
Jay said, you think I came this far to stay the same?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It don't make no sense. Like, every day that you don't evolve is a wasted time. You know what I'm saying? You're not the same person yesterday that you
live
today that you was yesterday. So yeah, like listen, I want to see everybody evolve. I think when you live on principles and you build on principles, I think those things should remain, but the way that you practice and the way that you live and the things that was cool to you then don't have to be cool now. You know, and people, and if that makes you feel some type of way, or it makes you feel like I'm a hypocrite on phony, then whatever it is, you got to deal with that. People hate, but people hate to see you evolve. Oh, I see it all the time. People like, yo, you was up there selling drugs, you was doing that. I said, yeah, yes I was. Don't do it no more though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't do it no more. I don't do that no more.
I ain't never tell you that I wasn't outside.
The same
and that's why I'm having a conversation with you, because I know exactly what it entails. So when you have a conversation with me, it's coming from a place of understanding, a place of experience.
Why do you think people do that? I've noticed that, but I was watching an interview earlier, and the guy that was interviewing you was like, he asked you a question about how you reacted to something, and you was like, yeah, if it calls for this year, I can fight, and this and that, like, I'm going to defend myself. And he was just like, see, I tricked you, I knew that part was in you. Yeah, that part was there. But I never told you it wasn't there. That's what they be saying. It's still there. As a man, like, it's still there.
You don't be confused. I tell people, do not get it misconstrued, man. You know, Malcolm X was red first. You know what I'm saying? So red don't disappear. That's just another part of who you are. You add the rest of this thing to you. Like, I haven't... Like, I follow the principles of Martin Luther King, but I haven't mastered them. I'm anti-violent. I'm not non-violent. Right. See, it's a difference. Anti means that you're against. Non-violence means you don't do it all. I'm against violence. But the minute that you try to impose violence on me or transgress, then I have no problem with engaging in it. That means I'm against. It's my last resort. That means you're against something. You can be against something. Non means not at all. None. I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that at all.
So I'm not that.
I'm not that. I just want you to know I'm
not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not there. I haven't got there yet. I can't get in my mind you doing something to me to harm me and me just not.
And I'm just like, nah, that's.
I haven't got there, and I probably won't. And if I do, then then I can celebrate that. But at this stage, I'm not there. I'm not there.
So do you celebrate the level that you at?
I do celebrate because I tell people all the time. I've watched myself in situations that I know prior would have been a way bigger situation, and now I just look and I say sorry. You know what I'm saying? I apologize, beloved, no disrespect. Me and you look and we just be like, yeah, okay. And we go work because we understand where we can take something and we celebrate the fact that we don't. Because there was a time we was willing to risk it all for certain things. You know what I'm saying? So
I tell you, don't be in situations like that. But if I am, then think your way through.
You got to, man.
You got to think for the next person and think your way through things, man.
That's right, man. Definitely.
Man don't watch it, so moving on to another topic. Man don't watch football, man, but I do. Right? But I do. Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Super Bowl,
so
man.
Who's playing
Mahomes.
Who is
that? Patrick Mahomes, he's the starting quarterback for Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs beat the Titans. So they're going to the Super Bowl. The San Francisco 49ers beat Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay. So they're going to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. My prediction.
So you were used to Aaron Rodgers? I know Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is out of here. San Fran beat them. San Fran beat them.
San Fran beat them.
Yeah.
San Fran and who else?
So it's going to be San Fran and Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City
Patrick Mahomes. He's the young boy. He's like his second and third year.
So who you got?
I don't like San Fran. I never liked San Fran since Tecmo Bowl. I could take you back since then. I never liked them. Never liked them. I like Kansas City Chiefs. I want to see them win. I like to see the young. Really, I wanted to see Lamar Jackson, but
ain't Zion supposed to come back tonight or tomorrow?
Zion is coming back Wednesday.
Wednesday.
He's playing. He'll be in. He's playing the Spurs. So you're looking forward to that.
I want to see him. Quick. I want to see him, but the young boy, Ja Morant, though. Man.
Do you think he can eclipse? Ja Morant. I had a conversation.
Ain't nobody just eclipsing Ja Morant.
You can't, like, his half a season will be better than anything that this man come back and do. Somebody's like, but he stood in one place and off a vertical and threw it between his legs and dunked. I said, okay, yeah. The things that Ja Morant is doing on that court, man. The things that Ja, I haven't seen that. The things that he's doing on that court, man, is amazing.
It is amazing.
He's playing like he's been in the league for at least 3 years.
Yeah, he's playing.
And I think once he learns to slow his game down a little bit, you get what I'm saying? Because he's playing. It seems like he's playing at one speed. It's almost like Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Time is going to catch up where he has to slow his game down. Talking about Russell Westbrook. But right now, like for Ja being a young player, he's gonna. I believe he's gonna add different dimensions. I think he's gonna go work with Cole in the off season.
Because he's an excellent finisher too, man.
I was watching something on YouTube where they said Kyrie. It was Kyrie. What's his name? For the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, and there was another player too that. They came to Kobe, the Mama school, or whatever, Mama camp, and they just studied certain things. I think that kid, once he gets that post move and all that, certain
he's good.
skills of the game that you add on once you start.
I think he's just shooting for Rookie of the Year right now.
Yeah,
I can't see.
He's definitely gonna be Rookie of the Year. I haven't seen or heard or.
Anybody that's here.
No, that comes close.
Yeah,
that comes close. Anthony Davis came back tonight. I'm not sure what that score was, but they was winning. They was playing with Boston, playing your boy, Kimball.
I think they won. I think Boston won.
For real?
I think so.
Somebody check the score, man. Who won that game?
I think somebody said that Boston won, man.
Did Boston won? They don't win. 10?
Somebody got blew out. I know it was a blowout.
Let me check that right quick.
I was trying to say, man.
Let me check that right quick. NBA games today.
They might have
I
got
don't know, Chad. I don't know. Let me see. I ain't got the score. I got the score right.
If you're young,
I ain't get the score. I don't know what the score. What's the score to that game? Nobody got the score here? Nobody got the score. Let me come back to that.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. I work for the people. It's your boy, my son. Listen, I told y'all, submit those freestyles. No filler at all. We want bar for bar. We take
where they submit them to? They submit
them to
Chica or you? Executive producer.
Tell them where we send them to.
We send them to my son.
You can send them to me. You can send them to Chico.
Send them to Chica.
What's Chica's
Chica,
what's your
CH1CCCA. No, what is it? CH1. Say what it is.
CH1.
CH1.
CAAAA.
There you go. It's
CH1.
CAAAA.
Chica. She said Chica. With 4 A's. Chica with 4 A's.
Yeah,
so submit those freestyles. We're gonna be posting the best ones.
It's gonna be on the bottom, so y'all
We're gonna have y'all see it. We're gonna have y'all see it on the screen. We're gonna post y'all. We want no filler. Look, I want real bars, man. I went on my page and I was posting some artists that were just like bar for bar spitters, you know, and they got a lot of response. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna start showcasing real spitters on this show, man. So tune in.
Gotta push the culture forward.
We're gonna push the culture forward. You already know it is your boy, my son. I work for the people. Salute.
No pressure. We here.